Hello and welcome back everybody to some more SkyFactory 4. Yeah, so much for being consistent, right? It has been a while since I've gotten here and recorded some things. Been a while since I've checked up on my piggies. And so yeah, sorry about that guys. Life has been busy. Just finished up the last of my final exams for the semester. So I'm going to have a little bit of time here to crank out some videos and get things going. But we're here, so let's get rolling. So speaking of piggies, first things first, I would need to just give you guys some updates of what I have been doing off camera between last episode and this episode. Like I mentioned before, we had some issues with the shovels breaking, and so I went ahead and made a bunch of unbreakable shovels here. It was really easy, just made a paper shovel and then put on a bunch of the reinforcement plates. I forgot what they are called. Just reinforcements. And these are pretty cheap. It's 2 gold and a bunch of obsidian. And we have lots of obsidian from our obsidian maker. But yeah, so that was pretty easy. And another kind of cool thing about these shovels is they actually are keeping track of how many blocks they're breaking. You can tell by the XP and the level of the shovel. Yeah, you just saw that. As it breaks, it gets 1 XP. That's kind of a fun thing. Not going to be really useful. I don't think we're going to need to know that. But yeah, so and then we're just making all of the different materials here that you can't get otherwise, or just some things that we were short on for a while. And so that's nice. And you may have noticed as well, we are quite speedy. We are pretty fast now. So I figured out things with the Android stuff, and now let me go over to the upgrade station, and I'll show you guys where we are at. So yeah, so here we've got, what is this? Yeah, we heal using energy, increasing our movement speed. We got this step assist, which honestly I kind of regret. Sometimes it's a little annoying, but overall it's actually really nice. I actually don't know how to activate this, the night vision. I haven't had to use it yet. And then yeah, we don't need food. I think we might have shown some of this last time. But the main thing I need to talk to you guys about is we have a choice here between attack boost and nano armor. So nano armor absorbs damage. So I think it takes energy probably to decrease the damage you're taking. And then you can get plasma shield, which protects you from projectiles. And this cloak which lets you go invisible apparently. Or we can get the attack boost, which increases our attack power, can instantly cool down your weapon, which is nice. And yeah, this sonic shockwave, which is kind of cool. I don't know how much we'd use it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think is better. I'm kind of leaning towards the attack boost a little bit because we don't really take damage, honestly, with the armor we have, and we have 440% health in that top left corner of the GUI. So yeah, I don't know about that. And then, but also Tinker's Construct has some pretty awesome weapons that you can make, so I don't even know if it's worth getting the attack power. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. But yeah, like I said, Tinker's Construct has some pretty cool stuff going on, and it's far past time that we start getting into it. And so I've made a new sword, enhanced it with unbreaking and sharpened it, and then all that stuff. It's still not that great. We just need to make a better metal weapon, and then that'll give it better. And you can do like the cleaver, which does a lot of damage. And anyways, yeah, we can do better with our weapon. But yeah, I experimented with the yo-yo and also with the like a paper pickaxe. And yeah, I think honestly, yeah, I don't know. With embossment and replacing the different heads and the materials with different parts, it might be good to go that way. But honestly, you know, you can upgrade it enough where it's not that bad to just go with the metal instead of all paper and then replace the parts. But I'm still figuring that out. But yeah, we played around with it. You can see these are pretty high level. What I've done is I just went to the Twilight Forest to some of the structures there and just vein mined all the stone in it. And yeah, that levels you up pretty quick. I also wanted to show we have this yo-yo here. We had an achievement to make it. I don't actually know where it was. Yeah, right here. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I wasn't really a fan of it, the mechanics of how it worked. Like being able to reel it in or not, and you know, yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of weird, so I don't think I'll use it. We'll just keep with the sword and our guns. But yeah, so that's Tinker's construct. We've gotten, oh yeah, and we made a Maddock. Because our pickaxe axe thing, what, Paxel? Yeah, this broke, and so this kind of just acts as a shovel and an axe. I actually don't know. It doesn't quite work as a shovel, I don't think. And it doesn't have a pickaxe, but it works as a hoe, and it works on dirt for sure. I haven't tested on other things, and so, but yeah, that's pretty good. And then the last little thing that I need to catch you guys up on is our farming down here. We added some sugarcane because we had to use paper for all these tools that we made, and I noticed we don't really have a lot of sugarcane left. And so I made some just so we have a steady supply of it coming in. And then I also fleshed out the rest of this inferium seed crop. And I'll show you just a little bit how we got that. But because yeah, we definitely didn't get it by the 1 or 2 plants we had. Those grow so slow. But we're up to about 3 stacks of the inferium through the farm. But yeah, so that leads us to some of the bigger updates that I have to show you guys. So let's go up here. In our book and quill here, we had a list of things we wanted to do. Wow, I'm gonna crash the game just opening a book. Let's see, we have here deep mob learning and then better resource production. And a big part of the resource production is our bonsai hopping plants. And they require mulch. And all the different mulches have progressively better stats. So previously we were at the yellow mulch. And that has, let's see, 166% growth rate and 150% drop chance. Off camera, I got the capability all the way up to the black mulch, which is 500%. So yeah, that's like 2.5 times, almost 3 times the yellow mulch for growth rate, and then the drop chance is 290, so almost twice the drop chance. So this is quite an advancement there. The blue mulch is a little harder. We need these blue slime crystals and the wither dust, which we do not have yet. But we will get there. But look at that. Growth rate is 1,000%. So that doubles from black to blue. It's crazy. Yeah, that's what this crazy machine is. This gets us our HDPE. What is that? I think it's like high density polyethylene, high density polymer. I don't know. But yeah, so we need HDPE to make rods and sheet to get to the black. Yeah, sheet. Okay, don't yeah. Black mulch, and then it also needs just the pellet itself for the red mulch. We also need this substrate. Fertilizer we had, yeah, the substrate and the biofuel was important. And I honestly don't know if it's worth going through everything here. I'm just gonna give a little bit of an overview. This was really annoying. You have to use gases with the mechanism mod, and they have their whole, you know, their own system of transporting, and the mechanism there is annoying, and you have to manually configure the interfaces. So yeah, So right now, so I was kind of wanting to make a factory almost, like automate everything, but it's kind of hard to get the first couple steps. So this is an auto brown mulch maker here, where we're getting sticks and cocoa beans from our jungle saplings here, which we can now replace with black mulch if we wanted. And yeah, we're storing all this stuff here. We're pretty much full, like we're full on leaves and other stuff. But yeah, we're actually quite at an excess here. So I can probably turn this hopper or this delay down a little bit. Anyways, I'm still fine tuning that, but it just takes a while. Don't know if it's worth it. So what I've been doing is just making that and then manually making pretty much everything else. And so the biofuel comes from crushing pretty much anything. And I was just going with a bunch of the extra saplings we have from like all of our trees. We have so much. And as well as I think there's rotten flesh in here, maybe. Yeah. And we get a ton of this from our farm, which I've actually updated to make it a little less effective because we were just getting way too much stuff, honestly. Yeah, so manually make the biofuel, and that goes through its whole process of going into the pressurized chamber. We need to supply it with hydrogen, and that's a whole thing to make the hydrogen with electrolytic separator. Pumps it in, and then that makes substrate, which then the substrate needs to be combined with oxygen and liquid ethylene, and then yeah, that creates our high density. Yeah, that's probably polyethylene then. But yeah, and that's where kind of this back stuff comes. We need the rotary condensator, not a real word, I don't think. And it takes ethylene into liquid ethylene, because then we can pump it and put the liquid ethylene into here. But yeah, lots of things going on, and probably too complicated for what it does, which is just make these pellets. Yeah, so we made that, which led us to our black mulch. And I think we have about a stack of that. Let me just do mulch. I'll show you the progression. Here's all of our different mulches we have. Yeah, we have almost a stack now of black mulch there, and we can make more. But yeah, so that is a major advancement, step in the right direction for us. The second thing has to do with this deep mob learning. So let's take a look at that. Okay guys, so here we are at our deep mob learning station here. I can't remember if I showed any of this on camera already, but I've made quite a few changes to it. I'm just going to go through everything. So we have this, where to start actually. We have this deep learner, and that's an important part. We have a loot fabricator, which is important, and we have a simulation chamber, which is important as well. Basically, we have these different data models. You craft these up. For example, the zombie is a blank data model and a zombie flesh, rotten flesh. And this is what a blank data model is. So we have these different types of data model, and then we stick them into, this is the GUI for the advanced learner, I think it was called. You stick them into here, and then once you stick them into here, it starts tracking how many times you kill that mob. So basically it's like gathering data about the mob, you know, its behavior, and the drops it gives. And so you can see on the bottom right, when the deep learner is in my hand, in the bottom right of the screen down here, you can see like 26 to go, 3 to go, and that's telling me how many of the mob I need to kill to get it up to the max level, which is self-aware. And the self-aware level will give you better materials in the simulation chamber. So what you do, you stick in a data model here. Right now I have a skeleton and some polymer clay. And then you stick that in here, give it some power, and it's going to basically run simulations of killing the mob. And with a self-aware tier, the thing you want is this pristine matter, which you saw we just barely got. Otherwise you get like this overworldian matter, or for like there's other types of matters, like for the nether creatures, they have the hellish matter, and then I think, yeah, like the Enderman will have this extraterrestrial. Oh yeah, and then we have Twilight as well. But yeah, so that's the pristine matter is what we want. And I have it right now, the skeleton pristine matter goes right into here. And then it gives you an option to choose what kind of material you want. And so we can auto craft things. And right now I'm just doing it to get Inferium because I don't really need the bones or anything else. We get all that from our mob system up there. Yeah, you just saw it go. And this is what the pristine matter looks like, by the way. But yeah, then you stick one of those in there, give it some powder, and it will create whatever you want. So that's pretty sweet. This is how we're getting all the Inferium. Yeah, look at that. So we could choose skeleton head, arrows, or, you know, bones. And so that's how we got all that Inferium, which I think the Inferium will be good for ore production in the future. But the cool thing about this, well, actually, let me show you. So originally I had made these 2 cases for mobs to spawn in and then I could kill them. But then once I saw how many I needed, I was like, this is not going to work. So I have them turned off. I just have this light I can flip. Yeah, so we can kind of tear those down. So what I then did is I made a little platform in the hunting dimension. So that's this cake here. We have the hunting dimension cake. And if I right click it, I'm not going to go into there now just for the sake of time. But yeah, it's just basically this open world that I think has better mob spawns maybe. But anyways, I made just a flat platform that's dark and a bunch of mob spawn and we slaughtered them. And that's how I got all of these to self-aware tier. But yeah, in the future, yeah, we want to get our witch and we want to get our Enderman, and then we have, yeah, like the blaze, and then this Twilight Forest stuff, Ghast, and then different slimes as well. Yeah, so that is mob learning. But a cool thing here is I kind of like, so I started this over here. I kind of like having modular power systems where it's not like eventually we're definitely going to make like a big nuclear reactor and that can power everything, and we can wirelessly transfer energy and stuff. But for now I kind of want to make at all these different places their own little self-contained energy system. So yeah, over here I did the renewable energy stuff, got some windmill and solar panels and whatnot. Over here, I started off, I wanted to just test these solar panels here. I guess it's night and raining, so they're making 0 power. Yeah, they're definitely more, I guess more convenient. You can lay them out in a grid like this versus those ones need a lot of space. But they're not quite as good, I don't think. And I don't remember if these ones you can upgrade very well. However, they weren't enough to actually power this consistently. And so I was like, okay, what do I do? And then I thought to myself, I kind of wanted to try out this biofuel generator because it kind of has a cool mechanic. And so I set up this coal production system here with these coal saplings. And what I did is each of these have its unique way of producing energy. The main one I wanted was these saplings, which I can use in the bioreactor. And so that's pretty sweet there. But then all the other ones, I'm like, okay, most of these are combustible generators, but like the acorns, they can be burned as food actually. So I have them going into a culinary generator. And then I actually am melting down the resin and then feeding it to a fluid combustion generator. So that's pretty cool there. And yeah, so all of these are producing power. And then I have this whole system in the back. And I was like, so yeah, let's talk about the biofuel generator. The cool thing about the biofuel generator, so it uses biofuel, which is created from, where is it? Bioreactor. And the bioreactor becomes more efficient with the more types of materials you have in here. So you can see this 50% efficiency. It's producing this biofuel at 120 millibuckets per item. And so what it's doing basically is, since I have 5 saplings here of different types, instead of just the coal sapling, it's more efficient. It's producing more biofuel per item than it would just with the coal sapling. And so that's why I have this whole system back here, is to get more types of saplings. So I was like, okay, what's a good way to generate more saplings? And I was like, why don't we just auto craft this polymer clay? So if you remember from like 5 seconds ago, we need the polymer clay for the simulation chamber. And the polymer clay takes, let's just look up the recipe here. Iron, gold, clay, and lapis lazuli. And so, oh, here's the recipe, by the way. So yeah, that's what I have back here. I have iron, gold, clay, and lapis lazuli trees. I've tuned these clocks so that we're getting the right ratios at the right consistency or right times to create our amber, which then gets smelted down in these energized smelters. And yeah, so that all gets put together and put into these barrels finally. I need to tune this actually, and it can be a little faster, I think, because yeah, we're getting a lot of everything here. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, and then that makes a polymer clay. The main thing, like I said though, is just to get the saplings so that I can feed them into the bioreactor here. And yeah, we're producing enough biofuel to consistently power or give fuel to 3 generators, which is pretty sweet. So I don't know if I think there's upgrades maybe to go faster, and then maybe we wouldn't have enough biofuel, but honestly we could probably add on another generator, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, so all of this is self-contained. It's producing enough power to continuously charge this battery, run these guys, as well as running the energized smelters and the crafters and packagers. So that's pretty sweet. It does a pretty good job here. Here's the underneath, lots of stuff, and then yeah, I have all the excess stuff we're not using in the back here, getting trashed basically. But yeah, so that's this system here. Okay guys, so that is pretty much everything. You guys are caught up onto what I've been doing off camera here. And it would be at this point in time where we would usually move on to new stuff, but we're not going to do that. Yeah, so just for the sake of time, I want to start making some shorter episodes. And for the sake of time, for the rest of this episode, I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of a channel update. I guess, yeah, a couple things. I've really been enjoying doing some YouTube channel stuff. Definitely, as you may have noticed, haven't been super consistent or very worried about getting content out at a fast rate or upgrading my computer or anything to get better quality stuff. And yeah, so this is really just a hobby, give me some motivation for some of the games. But I've noticed some issues come up as I've been getting into it, particularly with the Pokemon series that I've been doing. And the thing with that, so I started out because I had a bunch of like the Pokemon TCG code cards, and I was like, man, I get so many of these. My brothers who also like opening Pokemon cards get so many of these, and we never use them. And I'm like, I really want to see if it's worth playing the game. And so I started off, got to play some battles, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Actually, I can actually learn the game mechanics and do a good job with that. So I was enjoying that, and I was like, you know, I really like opening Pokemon cards. There's a big craze right now. This would be a perfect you know, outlet for like YouTube videos. It'd be super easy for me. I get a bunch of these code cards and we just go through and open packs, and that'd be fun. And if I'm being honest, not a great motivation honestly for a creative outlet is because it's easy. You know, you also need to be able to enjoy it. It needs to be something that will be entertaining to others if you're trying to promote it on like a YouTube channel or whatnot. And what ended up happening is I got so focused on like not playing the game unless I was recording, and not opening the packs unless I was recording. I was like, I have to save them because this is a good, uh, you know, just an easy way to make a video basically. And yeah, so what ended up happening is I stopped playing the game because I started wanting to record it. And I didn't want to play if I wasn't recording, but it was hard to find a good time between my schedule and my wife's schedule and my school schedule and my work schedule and her work schedule. And so it's, yeah, it's just a hard time to find time to record all the time. Say time again, five times. I said time 1,000. Anyways, yeah. So I was like, let's just stop with that. So I think for now, I'm gonna not make any more Pokemon videos. At least not on this channel. I think I'm focusing on, I want to get this series done, and I'm super excited. I just want to make a vanilla series, a long-term world, and get that going. I've had some exciting ideas with that, and so I want time for that and to kind of focus in the channel content. And so in the future, you won't be seeing any more of that from me for now. If I ever do have an excess amount of time, I may start posting on a different channel, like make a second one for streaming. I think the Pokemon game and the pack opening is going to be a much better format for streaming in general. And so I think that will be a better idea. So for now, SkyFactory 4 and Minecraft. Maybe Terraria. I started a Terraria challenge, but I had the same issue there. I really want to do the challenge, but I feel bad if I'm streaming, if I'm playing it and not streaming, but sometimes I'm not able to stream. And so that might be another thing to put on a back burner and wait until maybe I want to make a different channel. But yeah, we'll see. For now, the important part is this means more time for Minecraft and more episodes for Minecraft, which is exciting. Hopefully if you guys enjoy this series, that will be good news for you. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that there. I'm also hoping to make maybe shorter videos, maybe a little better quality as to the content. I'm not in the place yet to upgrading my computer quite yet. Maybe in a year or so, we'll see. But I think that was everything I wanted to talk about channel wise. So thanks for listening to me ramble about that. But yeah, so just a sneak peek. So that'll be it for the episode. But you may have noticed I have 2 other cakes here. I wonder what those are for. We've got a nether cake and an end cake. And that, I think, is what we're going to do next episode, is travel to the other dimensions, kill some mobs for our mob learning stuff, and just gather some resources you can only get in these dimensions, and kind of take a look at what it's gonna be like. I also want to go to, I think it's called the Lost Cities. Where is that? Exploration? Where is that? Oh, here it is. Travel to the Lost Cities dimension using the Lost Cities cake. So yeah, we might do that as well. Yeah, so that'll be for next episode. But for the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day and continue to have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed, yeah, definitely leave a like on the video. Thank you. Subscribe down below, leave a comment, and yeah, we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.